there's an interesting conflict, a war, if you will, brewing between William Shatner, Captain Kirk of Star Trek fame, and Reddit. And Shatner has basically come out calling for Reddit to do a better job policing its large message board driven, forum driven site, and the comments that appear on that site and the posts that appear on that site, because he says they're racist, saying, quote, "I am appalled by some of the immature, horrifically racist, sexist, homophobic, ethnic, etc. posts that are just ignored on Reddit. Why are these accounts still active? While Reddit has done well in getting interest from the mainstream, I just wonder if by allowing these children to run rampant and post whatever they feel will cause the most collateral damage if Reddit is biting off its own nose in taking that step to become a mainstream community."
Now, there's a lot of truth in that statement. There are a lot of posts on Reddit. We are frequent Redditors. But you have to understand the complexity of Reddit and also at the same time the simplicity of it as well.
That's right.
There's millions of posts taking place, and they don't go anywhere unless they are agreed upon by groups in the community that they should go places.
They get enough upvotes.
That they should be in the public's view.
Right.
And
the problem is...
that in itself is the beauty of Reddit.
That's right. Because it's not so much that you got to agree with everything in society. Sometimes there are things out there that offend you that people think. And I think it's better if those things are aired out there so that people can hold them up when they are elevated and say, this is wrong, I disagree with this. Because that promotes discussion. I mean, that's what a lot of this channel is all about. Because if you watch us and you don't always agree with us, at least we're promoting a discussion in a non-violent, non-hateful way, I think. And I think that's one of the things that...
too, for speaking out.
He has every right to speak his mind, you know? But to be fair, he's 70 years old. And he didn't grow up the way we have in this technological age. And so he's not as accustomed to reading on our videos like we do all the time the things that come out of people's
how many channels were on when he was on Star Trek, right?
Keyboards. Exactly.
I mean, there's all sorts of channels that people are information channels that people are getting now. That it's a totally different world, but
it is a dangerous road. I mean, you don't. I think it's clear to anybody who's been on Reddit for a significant amount of time that the site has gone more conservative and a little more dangerously libertarian and militaristic, because I think a lot of soldiers are just on Reddit all the time.
Yeah, I think it was found by the military probably a year and a half into its...
I mean, it's kind of, I equate it to Facebook in the early going. When Facebook was started, I was in college and I was one of the first, few thousand users of it, and it was really cool. And now it is not nearly as cool because everybody and their mom and your mom and your mom's mom and your mom's aunt is on Facebook, and that makes it very uncool because it's not just like the young best and brightest of the country, which is the same thing I think that happened to Reddit, right? But, the counter to that is you can subscribe to whatever subreddits you want, and you can downvote things that you don't agree with, and you can comment on posts that you don't agree with. But it's a slippery slope. But at the same time, I think both of us kind of stand on the issue that Reddit is a reflection of society, and the more people that come onto the site, the more accurate portrayal you're going to have of society.
And you can't filter it.
And you can't shy away from the fact that there are some really ugly aspects of America. And there's some really ugly people in America. And I don't just mean physically. I mean, they're ugly. They say ugly things. They think ugly thoughts.
And it's really, what do you think is the best way to approach that ugliness? Is it to shine the light on it and say, look, this is what ugliness is, so that, everyone who sees that can learn that if they commit acts like that, or if they say things like that, that's how people are looking at them in terms of thinking that they're ugly. And that's what I'm is I think by Shatner saying this and just talking about it, I think it'll draw more attention for people to be like, I respect Bill, and I'm going to help him out a little bit. And if I do see a racist post, maybe I will be a little more inclined to hit that downvote.
Yeah.
Or if I do see a good post, maybe I'll more be inclined to maybe give some Reddit gold or to upvote. I mean, that's kind of that. I think there's a positive fallout to this.
So that's interesting. A lot of our viewers, a lot of you may not know this, but we see all the analytics, and a lot of you are older than us. Twice our average viewer is probably about 35, 40 years old. And so it's interesting to see what you guys think about Reddit. Do you think that, and even YouTube for that matter, because I mean, I don't think there's any argument that the YouTube comments are far worse than a lot of what you see on Reddit because of the ability to hide them. And that's something that YouTube has tried to implement with the thumbs up, thumbs down button on comments, but it needs to be strengthened, right? Far too often they allow spam, far too often just people ignore the thumbs up, thumbs down of comments because there's so many comments being pushed through the site. So let us know what you think about William Shatner and this Reddit dust up.